Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 145 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 145 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I am so glad that you are here this week. I really hope that you decide to stay for a very long time. And if you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to support me on this journey. I really appreciate you, and I'm glad that you are back again this week with me. Before we dive into this week's episode, I really want to make sure that I'm foundational. I know, I probably sound like a broken record, but it is really important to me to make sure that we set our foundation off right, that we are building this safe space, this house, on two very important things, and that's clarity and love. Clarity is always straightforward. I just want you to understand that I created the Well Done Life podcast because I believe that women are the foundation of society. I think that women are so important that we need our own places and spaces where we can just be, where we can laugh, where we can cry, where we can share our journeys authentically, because we have an opportunity to inspire each other. We have an opportunity to support each other and encourage each other. There is space for all of us on this Well Done Life journey. So I create this inclusive space so that you know that all are welcome, all are loved, and that you are valued, celebrated, and appreciated here. So welcome. And then that leads me into my second tenet, my favorite tenet, because I'm a sucker for love. I love love, and love is always going to be the thing here. Everything that we do in the space will be rooted in love. So it's really important for me that I always send you guys prayers, because I really am a firm believer that obviously when two or more people come together in prayer, that's when we come into agreement. That's where the prayer is elevated and magnified. And I also want to make sure that you know, like I said, that I take you very seriously. I love you deep. So you are in my heart. You are in my thoughts. You are in my prayers at all times. So with that, I want to make sure that this week I am sending you prayers of strength. We've talked a lot about how, life is lifing again and we're all moving again. It's like COVID is kind of a thing of the past, but not really a thing of the past. And we're all trying to gear up and get back out there. I know myself, I'm gearing up for a hot girl summer to go along with my golden renaissance. So I'm stepping out, and I know you are too, but I want you to have strength. I want you to have strength, because even though we're all getting back out here and doing all the things, life is lifing and things are going to come at us quick. And we are going to be faced with situations that are hard, that are going to trigger us emotionally, that are going to challenge us in our intellect and in our spirit and our soul. I want you to be covered in strength in all areas, to know that anything that comes to you, you can handle. You are prepared to handle any challenge that comes at you. You just have to be willing to face it head on. Because I know for myself, I've struggled many times in my life with facing challenges head on. Now I do it, thank goodness, knock on my little wooden head very well. But at the same time, there was a long time where I didn't do it very well. And I would hide and make excuses or try to ignore situations as they were coming at me. And all that does is delay the inevitable that is going to kick you and that you're going to have to deal with it. And a lot of times when we delay or avoid situations, and we wind up making it actually worse for ourselves than if we had just faced it head on. So I am just praying that you have the strength, that you recognize and remember that you have the strength to face any and everything that will come your way. Trust yourself, trust that God's got you, and move forward, because you are equipped, and more than equipped actually, to handle anything that will come to you. I'm also going to pray this week for you to have empathy. And I know I've said that prayer before, but it's on my spirit again, because again, kind of that goes in line with, strength, because you are going to need to be strong when you are facing some of the challenges that may come at you, but you also need to have empathy. We need to be able to see that people are struggling with things that we have no idea about. And so being able to extend kindness to someone is the least that we can do, because there's going to be a situation where you're going through something that no one has anything about, and you will need a kind word. You'll need a kind look or a hug, a gesture of support and encouragement. Be that support and encouragement for other people, but also don't forget to be that support and encouragement for yourself. We have to be empathetic with ourselves. We have to speak more impeccably over ourselves, because a lot of times as we are going through things and facing challenges, the first thing that we do is critique ourselves. Like, how could I have made this mistake? Or I wish I hadn't done this. Or, just all the regret, all the doubts, all the animosities, all the fears we label on ourselves. I know for myself, I've always said I am my harshest critic, because it's like you think that life is supposed to be perfect and you don't use your words impeccably over yourself. It's like just kind of being self-deprecating, but that self-deprecation, those negative words, even though in your heart of hearts that might not be your meaning, you're still putting that type of energy in the atmosphere when it comes to you. You're still putting out that belief when it comes to you, because to speak it is to give life to something, and you don't want to give life to words that have no meaning. So that's why it is so important to be very intentional with your thoughts and with your words, because anything that you say about others and yourself, it comes to fruition, and it can create a cycle of energy around you that is counterproductive to the levels that God is trying to move you to. So you have to be very clear about that. So I want to make sure that you remember to be empathetic with not just other people, but be empathetic with yourself. Speak life. Be impeccable with your words as you are with other people. We could be so nice and so forgiving sometimes to other people. We need to make sure, again, that we extend that type of grace to ourselves. So extend that type of grace to yourself. Speak life over you and set yourself free. Set yourself up for this next season, because there is still a season of abundance out here. There is still blessings to be had. Don't count yourself out when you're not even in the second inning. I mean, like, we're not even in the second quarter yet. So you only imagine what could be coming next. Stay open, stay hopeful, and stay empathetic, because you will need that on the journey. And then kind of rounding out my prayers, I always believe in sending prayers of love, because love is my thing. Like I said, I'm a sucker for love, and I want you to have love. I want you to have good reciprocal love on all levels. And that's from friendships and relationships. I just want you to feel valued. It is just so important that we step into this season knowing that we are loved and valued on all levels. You need that type of encouragement and support in your life. I'm willing it for myself. I'm praying it for myself. I am praying it for you as well, because we deserve it. It doesn't require a long explanation. It's just, that's what it is. We deserve it, and we deserve nothing less than that. So claim it and go out here and get that. So this week I am recording on Wednesday night, March the 8th at 10:19 p.m. It's a little late for me, but I'm really excited to be back here with you guys. It has been quite a week, to say the least. It is moving very quickly, very hectically, but you know what? We are here getting it done. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's funny, I was talking to some clients earlier and I was telling them it feels like the Mondayest Wednesday ever, but it is still a very special day. It is International Women's Day, and it's so funny that I'm recording on this day, because I am like, it's International Women's Day every day for me because I'm a woman, and I'm sure it's International Women's Day for all of y'all as well, because you're all ladies, and we have to big each other up every day, not just once a year. But at the same time, it is a very special day. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that and share something with you. But before I do that, let me first thank you guys for your support of Fresh Out. Yes, Fresh Out was episode 144. If you have not had an opportunity to listen, I hope you do, because I am fresh out of fucks. And I really want all of you guys who are on the same path of being fresh out of fucks, fuck deficient, to have support and encouragement in the game, because I'm right there with you. And I'm glad about it. I really am. I have to admit, I am less stressed as a fuck deficient person. I do have like 2 spare fucks left where I just kind of like parse them out as I need to. They're on reserve. But I hope that that episode, outside of probably making you laugh, because I did get a couple of comments about Creature and Dobby from Harry Potter. So yes, if you have not listened to the episode yet, you don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to tell you. So go listen to the episode and you will figure it out. But yeah, I'm just fuck deficient, and it's definitely probably going to help lower my blood pressure, and it will also contribute to my skin staying moist and supple. So I want those same type of energy and feelings for you. So I would suggest you also check out Fresh Out, and let me know if you're fuck deficient as well, because boo, I got you. We're in that same club. Join us. It is good here. But this week, we are not talking about that anymore. I am pivoting a little bit. Not that I'm going away from my feelings of being fuck deficient. I am still fuck deficient. And can you tell that's one of my favorite words to say? Because I keep saying it, but it really is. That's one of my favorite cuss words. I don't use it often, but in this vein, it definitely just points out the right way. But like I said, we are pivoting. And with this being International Women's Day, I really thought this was fitting because it's kind of set in my spirit lately about how I really want to talk about my journey to love. Yes, I have recently, it's been a journey. It's been in the making for a while. I have recently fallen in love, and it's really serious. I'm really happy about it. It is just like the greatest love that I've ever known. And I'm very personal about it. It is. That's why I apologize. I'm kind of like stumbling over my words, but it's a really personal feeling because I realize I haven't felt love like this before. And I'm just so grateful to be here, but I definitely want to protect it. So that's why I'm kind of treading lightly. But essentially, yeah, I'm in love, and it's the greatest love I've ever known. And I want to share some of it with you because I think finding ourselves, finding who we are, is the greatest love that we could ever have. And I have finally found me. I finally found her again. And I'm really grateful. And I know that some of you guys are out there on the journey. So I wanted to make sure I shared it because I lost this love. For a few years, I lost her. I lost a part of me. And to be back here again in this space, feeling the way that I feel, feeling the love that is in my heart, it's a beautiful feeling. And as women, we need to acknowledge that the greatest love that we will ever know is within us. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Because as I've said a few minutes ago, I lost myself. I lost my love. I lost her, who I used to be, who I am now in a way. Many moons ago, I have to admit, I lost her in the cycle of grief after my dad passed away and my life really changed so dramatically. I lost her. I remember at one point in time how much I used to feel freer. Like I was much more in control of who I was before my dad passed away. Like I was all about the makeup and just getting out there and the dating and just living and traveling. I was doing all the things. I wasn't 100% me at that point, but I was really starting to get, I think, better because, my sister had come to live with me. We had some challenges when we had first started getting used to living together, but we'd gotten into a groove and we were traveling together and just doing all the things and living life. And it was great. And then, like I said, tragedy happened, life happened, and in the process of grieving and learning to live in a brand new normal, one of the things that I lost was me. And I really tried to find me again. I did. I think about it. I was doing everything at that point to try to find me, except for sitting in the grief of me. I remember I went out and got a mini MBA. I was like, I just had to keep busy. I was trying to take courses to better myself. I was reading books. I was doing whatever I felt was necessary to try to find myself. I was even trying to find myself again in old loves. I had dug up, and not to say dug up, probably is just a terrible way to describe it, but it's the truth. Dug up old ex and I was letting that rekindle, even though I was in no emotional state to rekindle that situation. And, I entertained him and he entertained me, but he couldn't see me. Nobody, I felt at that point, could see me. I was just so bogged down in grief that's how I felt. And it wasn't the case, but it was just how I felt, because I remember, nights and situations where I would tell people like, if I were to cut myself, I wouldn't even feel myself be cut. Like I wouldn't even feel myself bleed. I was just that numb, and my body was betraying me because of all the stress and the guilt. Like I could barely walk upstairs. I had gained like 20 pounds in less than 30 days. I was just riddled with just stress and anxiety. And as I'm trying to explain it, I didn't realize that in that moment, it wasn't that I wasn't seen. It was just that the people that I was sharing that with were not capable of receiving me. And I didn't understand that. So unfortunately, those feelings kind of just thrust me into isolation. And in that isolation, in those thoughts, I buried myself. And that's what I do. I've told you guys before, when I go through traumas, I tend to have been the person, or tend to be the compartmentalizer. I put everything in a little box until I can deal with it. And I couldn't deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to process it. I didn't know how to use my words because I had lost the gift of my words. My thoughts were just consumed with just trying to make it through to the next day. And I spent, like I said, a long time going through that. I spent several years as what I'd like to call a walking, functioning zombie, because that was what I felt was necessary to keep things afloat. And that was all it was about. And even in my lowest of moments, when I think about it, when I was on my face, when I wanted to die and kill myself, I couldn't find value in me. It wasn't. I couldn't find a reason to save myself in me. I was saving myself for my family. That's how low and how lost I had been. Because I think about that when I called EAP that night and I was telling them I was suicidal and I needed to go to counseling and I needed help. They were like, okay, well, why are you doing this? And the first thing I said was, why I want to do this because I need to be here for my mom and my sister, because there's nobody else behind me that can pick up the slack. It wasn't about me. It was about them. And so again, like I said, I had lost myself and I buried her for many, many moons so that I could survive. But luckily, through counseling, many years of counseling, as well as, just kind of getting to a point where I recognized that I was valuable again, I put myself back on the trajectory to heal. And it has been a long time coming in the healing journey. But I can clearly, honestly say to you that it was worth it, because I love myself. I love myself so much. And I am so grateful to have rediscovered her. And yes, I do talk about myself or her in the third person, but I have to, because this new version of me is so much more than what I was even back then. This new version of me did the work. I was on my face. I faced my fears. So she's raw and she's new. And with that new version of her being so raw, so new, so open, so ready and receptive for love and life, I have to protect her. So that's why I know she's the greatest love that I've ever known, because this time, me, is going back to I mean, healing old childhood wounds of, situations where my trust was violated has allowed me now to be in this space where I feel like I'm open again. How many of us remember how open we were when we were kids, where we just tried to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, where we tried to lead with love and laughter and friendship. We didn't come into situations with preconceived notions about who a person was or wasn't. We just tried to get to know you for who you were. How many of us remember those moments? I do. They were some of the best moments of my life until my trust was violated. And so I think about it now, to be able to say that I did some healing work and to go back to that version of myself, but elevated to now where it's like I do go into things trying to not make assumptions. I look at things clearly and ask questions. I am a little bit skeptical, but my skepticism, that's okay, because it ties into my discernment. And then I also make it a point to try to be impeccable with my words at all times, whether you give me reason to be impeccable or not, because it's not my job to berate other people. My job is to be a manifestation of the love that's inside of me, the love that God has given me, the discernment that God has given me, just going into life clearly and with the intention that I'm just going to do my best, knowing that I don't have to put on airs to make someone feel good. I can just be myself, knowing that sometimes myself is not always 100. It might be about 50. If you're lucky, you might get a 20-30, but that 20 or 30 is going to be solid, because I'm going to try to make sure that I give it to you with love, and give myself grace and understanding of where I am. I no longer feel the need to try to impress people. I am who I am. I don't have a work Pam anymore. I don't have a home Pam. I'm Pam. And I give you what the situations call for with 100% clarity and openness, because anything more than that is too heavy for me to bear. I need to just truly be my most authentic self. Who remembers moments like that? And see, I'm bringing that up because I want you to know that moments like that are possible again when you discover the greatest love within yourself is you. Because when you discover that greatest love within yourself is you, and you do the work, because we all have some areas of our life that are crooked, hard areas of our life where we've been hurt. And sometimes those little hurts and crooked places hold us back from living in the fullness of who we are, the fullness of who we were called to be. When we start to do the work on those things, it unlocks this whole new level. It's like Mario Kart level 100 kind of feeling. I know that's kind of like a gamer reference, but it was the first thing that came to my mind. But that's the kind of level that it unlocks within us. And to me, that's when the magic and the fun really happens, because it's like, now it's like, okay, I'm looking at life realistically, and I'm surrounded in the love that is within me. So now I don't have to go out here and seek false relationships, be it romantic or friendship, to validate me. I'm comfortable in me. And I don't feel the need for imposter syndrome, because I'm not perfect. My journey looks different. And that's okay, because it's good. It's my journey. Just like whatever somebody else does is their journey. That's where the magic comes of discovering the greatest love within yourself. The greatest love you'll experience is within yourself. So it's like this freeing moment has come over me, and I have to tell everyone about it because I want you to have the same experiences, and not the same experiences in the sense that I want you to go through what I've gone through to get here. I don't want anybody to have to be on their face. I don't want anyone to have to go through so much pressure and pain in life to figure out that you love yourself and that you're going to do the work and protect who you are now. But I want you to give yourself the room to deal with the areas of yourself that may need a little work, may need a little tweak, may need a little touch, may need a little love, or could need some big tweaks, big love. Maybe it needs a therapist, but I'm giving you all of those that to say it's time to deal with you because you are that great love. And don't get me wrong. Yes, I am the greatest love I will ever know. But I'm still open to love. Like, I would love to be in love. Like, I have someone that I care for. But at the same time, I have to admit, loving myself has given me clarity in romantic situations. Because now I recognize that I can love someone, really love someone, and want to be there for that person. But I will never want to be there for that person more than I want to be for me. And I think a lot of times when we are on the journey to love, where we want, romantic relationships, that's one thing that we lose sight of because we get so caught up in trying to make sure that we are pleasing to this person that we want to be with. And, you want to make sure everything is right. We say all the right things. We play all the right games because, yes, it is game. A lot of times it is, you call first, I call first, who doesn't call first, whatever, versus us just being in the fullness of who we are, leading with the love that we have and expressing ourselves clearly because we're unsure. We lose ourselves because we haven't figured out that we're the greatest love that we'll ever know. We're the prize, as they like to say. And so we get so caught up in that situation, trying to make this person like us, that we lose ourselves in that. And I have to admit, this time I haven't done that. And yeah, I'm saying this time because I have notoriously been one of those women to lose myself in a relationship, lose myself in a man, seriously, wanting to be everything to that person. And now I want to be important to you, but I don't want to be everything to you because I don't think you can be everything to me. I think it's about having relationships with people who complement you, who teach you different things, who make your life better because you make someone's life better. It's reciprocity now, reciprocity. But that's why I feel like it's so important to know that you are the greatest love that you will ever know. Because when you know that, you know what you deserve. And you know what you don't deserve. And you put up boundaries. And you have a sense of balance in it. You're not looking to try to be all up under somebody 24/7 because you are comfortable being with you. And that is really, really important on the journey to relationships because we're all so busy. We have demands on our time. I would love to say that we're all just going to sit up here and be available to each other all the time, but that's highly unrealistic. So you need to make sure that you have a life outside of your partner. And you need to make sure that you have friends outside of your partner because that's going to give you a well-rounded life. And that's also going to help your relationship. So you are not seeking validation, but you are seeking partnership. You are seeking to build together without having to be all up under each other all the time. So it has benefits to realizing that you are the greatest love that you'll ever know. And I think our partners see that within us and they respect us more, because I know I respect it in someone when they tell me that they love themselves, and I see it within their actions of how they move and protect their energy, because someone who is thoughtful about their energy and time can be thoughtful about you. And that is important in a relationship as well. So there are many benefits to figuring out that we are the greatest love that we will ever know, and how that can help us on a relationship level. And it also helps with friendships too, because again, they're very similar. It's, you stop seeking validation in your friendships. You stop worrying about competing against your girls, your boys. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to compete, because let's all kind of not pretend. We have all been in relationships where there is friendships, where there is competition, where there is like a unspoken, trying to one up each other in certain instances. If it hasn't been you, the person who's been trying to one up, you've been the person that other people are judging themselves against. It's just unfortunately the natural cycle of life. But when you love yourself fully, when you have recognized that you are the prize, you are comfortable within your own square. You are very confident in everything that you do. And you don't worry about what somebody else is doing. You don't worry about what somebody else is thinking. You are worried about you. And then when you are in a situation with other women who have that same like mindset, it then becomes a magic of seeing how each of you grow and elevate. I know for myself, one of the things that I've said quite a bit to a few of my friends recently is that I am so proud and so happy to see all of my friends in this season of transformation. Because yes, I say the same things to them that I say to y'all about this season. This is a very transformative time, a season of abundance, and people are being elevated and moved into different positions in life because this is your season to grow. And so I feel really great when I see all of my friends. They're all in this journey of growth. They're all in this journey of elevation where their lives are just being magnified. And it's beautiful because in these situations, we can celebrate each other. We can encourage each other on the journey because yes, even in the elevation, there's still encouragement that needs to be had because many times we are working harder and doing things that we never have done before in this new season. And we're not 100% equipped. It's not like, lives have been changed. And so, but we're out here doing it. So we support each other. That's the kind of vibe and friendship that comes from recognizing that you are the greatest love that you will ever know. Because the energy within you comes out like, I'm fulfilled. I'm happy. And then you have other people in your life who are fulfilled and happy, and everybody's working and growing. And it's a beautiful thing. Make sure that you invest in time in yourself so that you can find out that you are the greatest love that you have ever known. Because as women, we have to stop seeking validation in other people and seek validation in ourselves first. Because when we love us, can't nobody tell us anything. Nobody can tell you anything when you know who you are and who you belong to. The world is your oyster. Don't lose sight of it. And if you have lost sight, don't get discouraged. Because like I said, I lost me. And I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like I lost me for like a year. I'm talking years. I lost myself. And it took me a long time to get back to where I am now. And it's not even like I've gotten back to where I was. It's better because time and experiences have opened me up, and healing in this new space has just been a beautiful journey that has really given me so much peace and clarity. Give yourself the room to understand that it will get better, and believe in you, and ask for support on those days when it feels really ugly, because it will feel ugly, because you want to stay the course. you want to keep pushing on this journey, because the world will have us out here believing so many things about ourselves as women. And it is very important that you know who you are, because when you know who you are, you can show the world who you are. And you write your course, your destiny, your future through that. And also, as women, because many of us are running households and doing all types of things, we're the ones who set the tone. Recognize your power. Recognize how loving yourself gives you so much power. And understand that you wield that power for good. Your energy can change rooms. It can change lives. Don't ever forget who you are, and never be afraid to show someone who you are. So yes, it is very important that you remember that you are that great love, because you are that great love. You are the leader in your home, the leader on your job. You are the temperature check for all things. You are the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the wives, the lovers, the friends. You are all the things and then some. Never forget that the greatest love that you will ever have is you. So that is my motivation, my thought, my love, my great love that I had to share. Y'all probably thought I was about to talk about a man. I know you did. No. I might give you like little tidbits here and there, but nah, that's really not my vibe. I keep that one kind of I keep my love life on the low, just a little bit on the low. But don't worry, you guys haven't missed a thing. I'm still single. Even though I'm still the greatest love I ever know, I am still single. And, when the time is right, I won't be, because I'm popping. Yep, and it's my season, and I'm the greatest love I know. And girl, I'm in this soft goddess phase, honey. Watch out. I'm cute. But anywho, and that's also another important thing to do as I pivot and make you laugh before wrapping up. Don't forget to hype yourself up, girl. Make sure you tell yourself every day how beautiful you are, because you are beautiful inside and out. When you walk in rooms, people are awestruck by your beauty and your energy. Let all your beauty shine. Let all your energy flow, because people need to see what you are, who you are, and they will value it and just respect it and be amazed by it. And they should, because you're all that in a bag of chips. You are all that and then some. You are amazing. You are the greatest love that you will ever know. Don't you ever forget that. Yes, so be your own hype woman, ladies. And don't forget to allow other people to hype you up too. Stop being afraid or counteracting compliments, something I've had to learn as well. Lean into the softness of who you are. We don't have to do it all. We don't have to save everybody. We can just be. And there are people out here who just want to protect and love and care for us. Use your discernment. Open your heart, open your mind, open your soul to love on all levels, and never forget who you are. So I hope that kind of gives you a little motivation going into this week, because you are amazing. I want to thank you guys for listening to me this week. I will be back next week with another episode. I hope you have an amazing rest of the weekend. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will have all of my information in the show notes. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Goodbye, my queens. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.